We're live. Yes. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here on the live. It's not every day we get to talk on the Q&A. Missed you guys yesterday, so it's a pleasure being here. Let me know if I'm looking okay and coming in loud and clear. Occasionally, we have an issue with a microphone or whatnot. It's a good subject line. Wants the 100K in business credit. Yeah, absolutely. I realized the other day I talked about business credit, but didn't actually tell you how much I got in business credit. I told you which ones I liked, but if I actually got them myself or whatnot. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And okay, great, loud and clear. Want to make sure you see me okay, and I'm all good. All right, nice. All right, so. Again, as usual, we got the repair services below, awesomelifegroup.com, DIY credit repair at 609creditrepair.com. You can also chat your questions here. We've got live questions and answers going on in the chat. Business credit available at algbusinesscredit.com, where we can get you a bunch of potentially business credit and business funding. And if you have further questions after the live stream, info at 609creditrepair.com, where you can email me. So, let's talk about the business credit that I got, okay, and how much I got. So let me go ahead and share my screen and run it down. Okay, so the other day I said I liked, I don't know why that's in default, picture in picture. There we go. That should be my default. I don't know why the other is my default. I said I like the Amex Blue, okay? I like the Amex Gold as well, the Platinum as well. But I actually got an Amex Blue, no annual fee right out the gate, APR 0% introductory period for 12 months, as long as you're paying on time all the time, your minimums, okay? And you get a free earn a $250 statement credit after you spend $3,000 in purchase in the first 3 months. Fantastic. Put that back in the business. I actually got a line of $50,000 for this one, okay? 2% cashback eligibility, okay? 1%. $50,000. Now, of course, good credit is important. This is on my utilizing my credit score. However, it does not report to my personal credit reports. This does not report to my personal credit reports. Unless for some reason it was late or default or charge off or something, it's not going to report to my personal credit reports. This is all for business, okay? So, $50,000 availability here. Now, just one other card. And the reason why I like these is because these are top tier cards. And Amex, and this is, again, a revolving account. This is revolving credit, just so you know, okay? This carries a balance. You can carry a balance, okay? So if you're starting out 0% APR, you're paying on time, your minimums all the time, but you can carry a balance so you can start your business and get things, rocking and rolling. You might have, you got to pay for your insurance. You got to pay for your website, your phone, whatever it might be, which we're going to talk about setting up your business properly as well. So stay tuned for that. Now, the next one I really like, okay, is, and this is the other one that I got $50,000 worth of available business credit in, okay? 50,000, another 50,000. You're like, which one? I did Chase Inc. Business Unlimited, okay? Again, another zero annual fee, no annual fee. Earn $750 in bonus cash after spending $7,500 in the first 3 months. Maybe you get that, maybe you don't, but you got no annual fee. You've got the 1.5% cash back, potential 0% APR for 12 months, as long as you're paying the minimums on time, and you can revolve the balance, and you have $50,000, another $50,000, $100,000 worth of available credit. Now, if you need to clean up your credit, 609creditrepair.com. You can get that beyond committed package, or we can do the work for you at theawesomelifegroup.com, okay? But what's important here is that you have the option to get $50,000 in a revolving line of credit. Now, there are ways to get funding out there. It depends on what industries you are in. Of course, my industry is a little more restrictive, a little more difficult, so I go the credit card way, but you might find funding out there that works for you, like a fund box, right? Or something else. If that works for you, fantastic. We help businesses, entrepreneurs, people, individuals get business credit, algbusinesscredit.com. Okay. If you've got good credit, you can get one of these. Okay. Now I've, been working on this for a long time, business credit. I know individuals who are saying, hey, I was able to get 50,000, 100,000, 150,000, 200,000. In this, I applied for both of these back to back at the same time. Okay. The Amex and the Chase Inc. I applied for at the same time, the same day. Now, did I get 2 hard inquiries? Yes. I got 1 hard inquiry on one of my credit reports for the Amex, and I got 1 hard inquiry on one of my credit reports for the Chase. But they came in later. They came in probably a month later, I want to say. So they don't affect your credit right away. And how much did it affect my credit? A little bit. I think it went down maybe 5 points and it came back up. It wasn't much. I barely noticed it. So you could do this, okay? It is possible. But let's say I wanted, I don't know, 150, 200,000 in available credit. Okay. Well, where do you go? Well, you want to look at another big bank, another line of credit availability to you and what it might look like. Now, how do you get a big line? Okay, it's like, hey, I got good credit. Is that all that matters? Good credit matters, but when I first started and had good credit, and this was years ago, when I was just starting out, I got a Bank of America business credit card, and they only give me $15,000 in available credit, not $50,000 in available credit. 50 G's is a lot bigger than 15, right? So, 10 to 15 is great in one card, but 50 is even better. So how do you do it? So what's important is when you're going through this application process, they're going to ask you certain things, certain financial things. And they're going to say, well, how much revenue are you planning on getting? How much are you planning on spending, right? Those are the things they're going to ask you on these questions. How much revenue do you think is going to come in? And how much do you think you're going to spend? Okay. Well, these are projections. Okay. And they'll ask you what your revenue is. You might actually have what your revenue is. You might project where your revenue is going. And you can fill it out accurately on there what you believe it's going to be, or you believe what it is to the best of your ability, right? So you might say, oh, well, look, I'm doing X amount on my construction business or my restaurant business or my plants. I don't know, maybe horticulture, they call it plant business, selling plants. It's booming, right? Everybody's buying plants. Or I have an electrician company, or I'm starting carpentry, or I know I used to do this with my brother. I used to do this with my siblings. I used to do this. I used to do that. Now I'm starting out on my own. So I know it's going to be about X, Y, Z. And so they're going to feel comfortable. Oh, well, we'll give you a $50,000 line of credit, right? Because the numbers add up. So just pay attention to that. Now, setting up your business properly. Okay, let's get into this. Setting up your business properly is an important part of the process. So this individual says, hey, I've been working on my business, my personal. So this individual says, I've been working on my personal credit on the round 2 so I can qualify for funding for my business. Excellent. That's what we're talking about, because that is going to allow you to build wealth. Now, setting up your business properly. A lot of people know to get the EIN. Okay, of course, because you have a business, you're going to get an EIN. All right. Maybe you're setting up an LLC, or you're going to have that LLC taxed as an S corp. And of course, none of this is legal or tax advice. But maybe you're going to set that up as a LLC or a S corp, a C corp. It's going to be taxed as an S corp, perhaps. That's pretty common. You see a lot of people with LLCs taxed as S corps. Accountants like it, bookkeepers like it. It's great. Okay. You can talk to your accountant about that. Most people are going to do that. Something that not everybody's going to have is a business address. Okay. Can you use your home? Sure. It's okay. But they like when it appears to be an actual business address. So what does that mean? What can you do? Where do you go? Okay. So there's a couple of companies out there that will allow you to have business addresses that don't say PO box, right? So it'll be like an actual street address, and you'll have a business address. So you want to make sure you get one of those. Okay. If you're starting out, you really can't. Okay, understood. Maybe start with the home address, but then you eventually switch over. The other thing, business phone number. Okay, separate than your personal phone number. How do you get one of those? Okay, a lot of internet service providers will provide another phone number. It's a hard line, or well, technically it's a voice over IP. It's an internet phone, but it's a regular phone instead of a cell phone. It's sitting there next to the router or the modem. Okay, you can get one of those. Another thing, you can look into Ring Central. Ring Central is a good one, and also Grasshopper. Now we like Grasshopper because it's great it's the entrepreneur's phone. Okay, and it oftentimes will come with like a trial period, and it's pretty affordable, reasonable. Right now they have a try free. Let's see here. Let me kind of look at this. Start your free 7-day trial now. No credit card, no commitment. Try Grasshopper, toll free, or Vanity. You can get a local number, one phone number, 3 extensions, 50 business talk minutes, 100 business texts, which is great. Number porting, all right here. Okay. They also say, I'm going to bring this up for you. I just wanted to double check before I brought this up. Yeah. Okay. So this is how you can set up your business phone properly, because you want a business number, you want a business website as well. Got to have a good business website, business number, and business address. Okay. So right here, Grasshopper adds a business line and virtual phone system to your personal phone. You could keep it on your cell phone, wherever you are in the world, starting at $26 per month. Right? Not bad. Not bad. $26 a month. If you're like, hey, I got clients. I know I'm going to do this the right way. I know I'm going to get $50,000, $100,000 worth of business credit. I know what's what. Look, you can try for free. Okay. Bang. Start a free 7-day trial. See if it works for you. They've got toll free. And then, of course, the local number. Okay. So you could you're like, hey, I do local business. I want them to feel like it's a local personal feel. It's not this, oh, you got my personal cell. Oh, you got my number, but it's really going through Grasshopper. Okay. So it's a good, decent way to start. There's also the Google phone service. They'll give you phone numbers that can start you out. That may not cost as much or may not cost you anything. And then, of course, you could always move up to, let's see, what is it? I know Ring Central's pretty good. Dial 9 is another one, I want to say. Your ultimate VoIP phone system. Dial 9 is another decent one that you can look into. So you got to have the business address. Okay. Good business address separate from your home. Typically you could start with that if you had to. Cell phone, typically you don't want to start with that. You want to start with a business number. And then, of course, a website, a business website. That's going to help you out. So you got the EIN, you got the business number, the address, and website, and all this good stuff that we talk about here. And if you've got these things, the EIN, all that stuff, they're going to look at that application differently. They're going to say, okay, well, you've got a website, you've got the necessary things for business. We feel comfortable that you're not some fly by night, right? Because you're going to put time into it, a little bit of time, a little bit of energy, a little bit of money. Now you got all this business funding. Fantastic. Okay. It is possible to do that out of the gate. So sometimes other funding processes take longer. So you're like, oh, I'm trying to get a business loan, an SBA or a line of credit or something like that. That's a line of credit, not a revolving credit card. That may take financials, docs, right? Documents, tax returns, processing, merchant processing. They want to see your business checking account. You want to have the business checking account, the EIN, the business checking account, the phone number, the address, and the website. Those 5 things. Those are going to make a huge difference in your ability to get the business credit. You've got the EIN, You think you're good to go. Hey, I got the EIN. I got my LLC taxed as a C Corp or an S Corp. I'm good to go. You want to have those other things in place as well so they can look at you and get the right funding. Okay. So this individual came to us, got the do-it-yourself package, says, hey guys, I wanted to write to say thank you for all your help. I'm on the other side of my TransUnion Equifax. I've had 3 bankruptcies deleted from each bureau. 3 bankruptcies from each bureau. That's right. 1 Chapter 7 was discharged. 2 Chapter 13s that were dismissed, but still on the reports. All 3 have been deleted from all bureaus. All bureaus. Okay. Additionally, he's got 2 repossessions that were removed. They were each bought by a collector, so they removed these repossessions. So he had 2 repossessions, and the original creditors were on there, and then of course the collections were on there. So these are 4 negative accounts technically, but there were only 2 repossessions, but those were also removed. Okay, all 4 have been removed. 15 accounts removed. I'm on the other side. Thank you. This is great. This is fantastic. This is huge. So this individual is ready to go and start their own business, or get their business funding, or get the travel mile cards, or whatever it is they're looking for, buy a home. Okay. Now, this dismissed bankruptcy stuff is kind of wild when you think about it, because it was dismissed. It wasn't necessarily even potentially adjudicated. It's not considered to exist in the eyes of the law, yet they're keeping it on your credit reports, and it's affecting you potentially like a bankruptcy. This individual disputed it, got the bankruptcy off, got the dismissed bankruptcy off, got the discharged bankruptcy off, the Chapter 7 discharged bankruptcy off. Now, credit is squared away, got the repossessions off. So you could do this as well. 609creditrepair.com. We can do the work for you at the awesomelifegroup.com. All right. Please give this a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And yeah, one other thing I wanted to talk about in the news today. Okay, we're also talking about building wealth here. We're talking about building businesses, and we're talking about, getting negative items off. If you've got questions, you can put them in the comments as well. But I wanted to talk again about the King Crypto Bitcoin, because individuals may be looking for alternatives to build wealth. Okay, and this is something that I've been looking into a little bit and I'm kind of interested in. So check a look at this. I'm going to share something with you.
It is my opinion that you do not really understand the concept of banking. All the banks are broke. Bank Santander, Deutsche Bank, Royal Bank of Scotland, they're all broke. And why are they broke? It isn't an act of God. It isn't some sort of tsunami. They're broke because we have a system called fractional reserve banking, which means that banks can lend money that they don't actually have. It's a criminal scandal, and it's been going on for too long. To add to that problem, you have moral hazard, a very significant moral hazard from the political sphere. And most of the problem starts in politics and central banks, which are part of the same political system. We have counterfeiting, sometimes called quantitative easing, but counterfeiting by any other name. The artificial printing of money, which if any ordinary person did, they'd go to prison for a very long time. And yet governments and central banks do it all the time. Central banks repress the amount of interest that rates are, so we don't have the real cost of money. And yet we blame the real retail banks for manipulating LIBOR. The sheer effrontery of this is quite astonishing. It's central banks that manipulate interest rates, Commissioner. And plus, underneath all this, we talk loosely, in a rather cavalier fashion, do we not, about deposit guarantees. So when banks go broke through their own incompetence and chicanery, the taxpayer picks up the tab. It's theft from the taxpayer. And until we start sending bankers, and I include central bankers and politicians, to prison for this outrage, it will continue.
So this is the type of stuff that affects your credit, right? This is the type of things that the banks, that the credit card companies do to manipulate why interest rates for credit cards are 15, 20%, because they're trying to make money on things that don't even exist. They're just printing money out of thin air. So what happens, what we've talked about in the news, you hear it, inflation is through the roof, inflation, right? Their interest rates, it hiked the interest rates, the inflation got bad because they printed all this money. And yes, some of that money went to bailing out banks, okay? Now, it doesn't seem like it was, okay? It doesn't seem like it did, but some of that money went into EFTs, electronically traded funds on the stock market that were utilized to purchase bank debt. Okay. So all this stuff is going on. Do we have an exit ramp? Yeah, potentially. Bitcoin might be that ability to, kind of protect your wealth. And I'm not saying a bunch of it, right? Maybe a little bit, whatever you feel comfortable with, a little bit, right? Because if your money's being inflated away, right, and you're thinking, well, this doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel good that inflation's 8-9%, it doesn't feel good that the stock market's down, everything's gone. Looking at Bitcoin over the past 3-4 years, if you hold it over 3 or 4 years, and typically it's going to go up, okay? And if you have a long-term time horizon, typically long-term, 4 or 5 years, you're going to be okay. This is what I want to show you, why I think this might be helpful to you guys and all of us to build wealth. Okay, let me just take a look at this here. Make sure I got this right. So let's take a look at this. Very interesting here. This individual tweeted out the 15th July, 2011. I believe this is the international date, the overseas date, the European date, 15 July, 2011. Well, Bitcoin stabilized at almost exactly $14 per coin. I'm tired of waiting for a jump, so I'm taking a loss and I'm getting my cash back. So this was roughly 11 years ago, right? Because it's 2022. And in 2022, Bitcoin is sitting at what? 21,000. Okay. Long-term horizon. Long-term horizon. Not saying put a bunch in. Not saying that. Not financial advice. Take a look at it. See what you think. But this individual had this individual hold 10, 11 years. Bitcoin went up to $60,000, right? From 14, which means this individual lost something because they were probably purchased at what? 30, 60, 100. What if they had purchased at $100, $200, whatever it might have been, right? Do you think if they had held 10, 11 years and realized a long-term investment rather than some quick trade, long-term investment would have wound up being worth who knows how much they could have gotten back then, right? Maybe they got 10 Bitcoins, 100 Bitcoins. So I'm not saying it's going up. I'm not saying it's going down. Do your own financial research. I'm just saying the past says it was 14 a coin, now 21 a coin. Money printing happens. Just think about it. And I'll leave you with this before I get off this. Maybe a more short-term prediction. Sit analysts, Dave the Wave, who's had some pretty decent analysts here. 36K Bitcoin for Christmas. Anyone? So potentially it goes up over the next few months. Maybe. I mean, we even had a response to this one. Individual thought, well, yeah, there's an Elliott wave regression here showing that, yeah, maybe it potentially could be there, Elliott wave right here. Bang, bang, bang. This crypto guys saying, hey, why not? Maybe it could go up to 36K. Okay. My big thing is long-term holding, $14. That gentleman sold at $14 that we saw. Banks printing money. Perhaps you can hold some of your wealth there. Okay. It is possible. Hey, I want to know. Jeff Speaks. If you're interested in it, you want to know more about it, I'll look more into it. I find all sorts of different ways for us to build wealth, overcome the big banks, so to speak, the creditors and the big banks and the holding people down. All right. We're all in this together. We're trying to overcome. So if you want more crypto info, if you want more stuff, I'll get it and I'll find it. But I find it very interesting recently that Bitcoin came all the way down, and it might be an opportunity for it to go up. And I just want to bring people awareness that may be overlooking it. So in any case, individual got 3 bankruptcies off, 4 repossessions. The credit scores through the roof. We went over how to get $100,000 in business credit or more in this video. Please give this a thumbs up. If you're watching the replay, please give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe, try button, and bell for notifications. I'm going to start doing more live streams, more live content, where we've got one couple already done. Friday, Saturday, we did a couple. I actually got pretty busy yesterday, but it was Sunday. Needed a little rest anyway. Jerome got me working over here. Got a new camera, new mic, everything sounding good. So I appreciate you all for being here. I love you all so very much. And until I see you in person, I will see you on the other side. Take care.